Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Indian Captains. My name is Shoaib, and you have reached the part three of our series of Cadet versus Conventional. And if you haven't checked our first two parts, make sure to check the parts before you check this one out. So, in the first two parts, I discussed in the conventional type of CPL, and in the second part, I discussed the Cadet type of CPL and how the pathway of program works. In this particular video, I'm going to be giving you the complete comparison what you as a pilot, you as a student pilot need to look at before you choose which pathway to take and what is right for you. And I will have various parameters where I'm going to judge which is better, and you take a call for yourself which suits you. So stay tuned. This is an interesting video. So I'm going to be talking upon few parameters for the comparison between cadet and conventional. So the first parameter and the most important parameter is the cost. Yes, your conventional type of program will cost you anywhere between 25 to 40 lakhs for just your CPL. Listen to me carefully here. And let's say you do your type rating, which is another 10 to 20 lakhs depending upon the type of aircraft. So on an average, we're talking about 50 to 60 lakh till you get your type rating, followed by maybe some training costs that the airline may take. Let's take on an average of 60 to 70 lakhs or 75 lakhs till you are type rated commercial pilot license holder, similar way of a cadet pilot. So this could be the amount that you're going to be spending. Or on the other hand, for a cadet pilot, you're going to be paying anywhere between 85 lakh to 1.2 CR. This includes the entire thing that I mentioned. So one hand is around 60 to 70 maybe, and on the other hand, we're talking about somewhere around 1.2 CR. So you must be saying it's almost double. Why? Coming to the point number two, it is going to answer you there. So most of the airlines currently are, if you see, are expanding the fleet considerably. And for some way, if you see, this amount is a big factor or source for the expansion plans. Yes, it might be a very small amount because if you look at the cost of the aircraft, it's massive. But this is somewhere, helping them to, keep the airline afloat, plus also keep the operations and the profits in a very good way, or cut even, whatever be the case. But to keep this in mind, that this amount that you're spending is almost double, right? And if you're talking about just CPL, there can be almost three people completing their CPL in the given amount. So you decide first if so how do you take a call with this regards to cost? If you are a person who's taking a loan, which most of the student pilots end up with, because we're talking about most of them being from the middle class families, either way, if you're taking a loan, I wouldn't suggest you to take the cadet program. Why? Because if you're taking a loan for, let's say, 1 CR, how long are you going to keep paying back that loan with interest? It's going to be a big amount. And on the other hand, if you're going to take a loan for conventional, just take CPL for example, and then take slowly you take the type rating. Yes, CPL amount is also quite big, but the interest rate is not going. Interest accumulated for that amount is not going to be that massive, and even the sum total of the final amount will not be that high compared to the cadet program. So that's my point number one. Point number two, in terms of duration of the program, both of the programs more or less take the same time. Why? Because you are doing the same procedure, whether you're doing it in India or abroad by yourself or by an airline. The sum total of the entire process takes same. But the point comes in cadet is that you are already in the process, and you will obviously be given preference to complete everything. But whereas in conventional, you can have various hiccups in the way. For example, let's say you have not completed, you're not getting slots in the flight school for your flight checks, and there is a lot of issues like that which will delay your whole procedure of getting to the airline. So keep that in mind. Cadet in that case could be a smooth process for you for your transition from a student to an airline, given that they have the entire procedure sorted out. So that's point number two. Point number three, job guarantee. This is the most important point after cost. Why? Because if when students get to know, or even if parents get to know that the Indian pilots, that the most of them suffer with getting jobs, right? So with that being said, parents currently do not want to invest such a big amount, be it 30 lakh or 40 lakh, and they are a little scared. It's not that there is no jobs or so on and so forth. I've already discussed in your previous videos, but there it takes time. Like there's a duration where you end up getting a job. So that is a big problem where everybody thinks, do I need to even waste time or that money for that duration? But keep this in mind, guys. With Cadet as well, on an average, they are also taking around 2 years, till they get into the airline, 2.5, 3 years. It depends upon again airline. And then with this current scenario, things get takes even more longer time. But with conventional, yes, you can't really say when or how the job guarantee is, because in Cadet you're getting something called as a letter of intent, which is almost like an 80-90% assurity that your job is in your hand. But the conventional, you are in the market alone, you have to go for your interviews alone, and everything is a lack of 50-50, where you can do well on a particular day and things can go wrong on another day. But at the end of the day, you have to see what helps you. It's not the biggest factor, where, but yes, people think, and people go the way where in Cadet everything is streamlined, where the end goal is known. A simple example is, after you finish your graduation, there's campus placements, but in pilot courses we do not have that. We need to go to the airlines, we need to apply to the airlines, and most of the schools do not have a tie-up with the airline. It doesn't work that way here, unlike one or two schools early days. But with Cadet, you have the entire process streamlined, because once you're done with your type rating, you're still in under the umbrella of a particular airline, and obviously you're going to be considered first. Why? That's because in the second point I told you, the cost and the duration, like the entire thing, the cost that you're spending on it, there's no way that they're going to ignore you over the conventional pilot. So that's my point number three. Point number four, and the final point, is the basic. So point number four is a question that I want to ask you: is it worth it to do a conventional way or a cadet way? So this is something that you need to answer for yourself. And with keeping the other pointers in mind, I want you to think if all these 3 points help you answer the point number four in taking a decision. Simple things. First is, please see what you are capable of, what you can afford. Firstly, your cost that you can afford or not. Second thing, obviously, keep in mind the repayment if you're taking a loan. And what is the easy way out? What a person should think if he's confused, or he or she's confused. First point, if you think your parents can afford your cadet pilot program, or they can take a loan, or they have a surplus amount, right, where you actually are not going to be burdened by paying that amount in CR, then go for cadet, because then you are assured a 90% chance of getting a job. And if you're a person who's taking a loan, just close your eyes and go to conventional, because that is going to be a better way, cheaper way. Maybe you can look at various other options. Keep your options open. Don't keep it only open as an airline pilot. Yes, you can work towards it over a period of time after getting experience. Point number two, do not get disheartened that from day one I'm an Indigo cadet, or I'm a SpiceJet cadet, or a AirAsia cadet. Yes, your friend might be one, but you can also do the same thing what he or she is doing. At the end of the day, what matters is getting a CPL on what you have, or what you can afford, right? So don't force yourself or your parents to take up decisions such as this. At any point of time, I'm not criticizing either pathway. Both pathway has the pros and the cons. I have discussed it, but you need to decide what works for you. I've always told you that, even when choosing a flight school, even when doing the course, see what works for you. If you think you have that extra amount, go for it. If you do not, it's still all right. Let me share the pro there. You are spending, let's say, 40 to 60 lakhs for your conventional pathway, where you get your type rating, and let's say even if you do not get a job for a year or two, you still have not invested 1.2 crores, double the amount. You still okay. Yes, you must be doing the math, wherein then in the 2 years I could have earned this X amount and could have repaid so much. Don't think about that. Yes, it's going to haunt you, but look at the side where, yes, you have not invested such a big amount, which you definitely could not afford. I'm sure most of them are in the stage where, even paying the CPL amount was a big task. And now we're talking about cadet, where the amount was huge. If you ask me, back in 2016, you know how much was the Indigo cadet pilot program cost? It was 55 lakhs. Yes, back then 55 lakhs looked like a crore. So, guys, this is going to be, this market is all the way like this. Even abroad, if you look at Cathay cadets, or even the Emirates cadet pilot program, they are all somewhere around 1.5, 2 CRs. Yes, they have a certain procedure, they have a certain program in place, but that doesn't mean at any point of time that they are better than us or we are better than them. Why am I saying us? Because I did conventional way. So keep in mind that at a point of time that you have a license, even they have a license, right? It's just some few pros they have, and you have some pros and cons either way. But what matters at the end is your hard work. If you can crack the interview, why not? If you get an opportunity, take it. Even if it is going to be like 100 pilots have come for interview, and if there's two slots, that's all it takes sometimes, right? Because you know how the profession is and you know how much of an effort you need to put. So do not get disheartened. Do what best you can do and what best resources you have. Hope this series has helped you get a clear idea as to how what is cadet, what is conventional. I'm sure this debate is going to end anytime soon. But what you need to do is do your research well, decide what you need to do, and take it forward. And I hope if you've liked this series of three videos where I've discussed cadet, conventional, and the complete comparison. Make sure to hit the like. Do leave a comment down below if you find these kind of series helpful and to do such similar types in the near future. And if you have 101 doubts, it's all right. Just shoot it down below or get in touch with us in our social media handles. We are happy to help you. And last but not the least, if you find our information helpful in some way and is giving you some guidance and is helping your friends, make sure to subscribe down below, share our video so that we can reach to more people so that they are helped by whatever little content we have to share. And until then, you take care and you have a lovely new year ahead and happy landings. Take care, stay safe. Goodbye.